Hey guys, Hacker here. There's a lot of Rogue on Ladder. So I tried to get a list, a warrior list that happened to be good against it. And it's okay against some other stuff. It loses against some stuff pretty hard, but I have been winning pretty consistently against all types of rogues. And I thought you guys might like that. So let's take a look at this list. Bam! This is an OTK warrior. What's the combo? To the front ×2 makes your minions cost less. And then you can go Galvangar, Faceless, Battleground, Battlemaster. So 4 mana for to the front. This then costs 1. It's 4 less. This costs 2. This costs 2. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 mana. Pretty good. If you don't have the Faceless, you can still use Smite as a finisher, which is one of the reasons why Smite's actually in this deck. And it does a lot of damage. Faceless, Battlemaster, and Galvangar together deal 9 × 4, which is 36. Pretty solid OTK. You generally don't need 36 damage. Against some druids which gain some armor, you might need a bit more damage. Against some warriors, actually you don't need damage against warriors because they just run pirate stuff, so they don't actually have armor gain. But basically most decks in the meta aren't really gaining armor outside of druid, and this is obviously not great against druid because you don't kill them because they have too much health. But whatever. This isn't about druid, this is about rogue. Rogue is like way too much of the ladder, at least at the ranks I'm hanging around at, and I hated that. So I built this. I used actually Ike's list, and you guys should check out Ike. I'm going to post his Twitter and stuff below. Ike had a similar list to this, which kind of had the same idea. I don't know if he was specifically trying to target rogue, but he was just trying to do like a combo type deck, and I found that this was actually kind of decent against rogue because you have enough removal tools to remove their stuff, and you do have a win condition, and the win condition isn't that unreasonable. I thought initially that this would be a little too sketchy, but it actually has been working well enough. With the card draw from the Harbor Scamps, the cutting classes, and a couple of trades, you pretty consistently kill people. Not on turn like 7, 8, 9 because you need more mana to do it, but around turns 10 to 13, your opponent tends to die. And some of the decks in the meta right now, you don't even have to really kill, you just need to stay alive. And Control Warrior, even though this isn't full control, there's a lot of control tools here. And even without the full combo, you have a lot of swings here. Let's talk about how many swings we have. 9 from this, 12 from the Sword Eaters, 10 from Rokara. That itself is already almost 30 damage, where people don't actually run healing in too many different decks. Obviously, in some decks people do, but that's a lot of swings, so you don't actually need to do like a full 30 combo. There's games that I've won where I've just hit them in the head, and then I went like 1 to the front, Galvangar Faceless, and just hit him for 20, and that happened to just be good. Well, 18 plus like a weapon swing or something, and that happened to be good enough. Removal tools. I initially had 2 minefields. I did like Minefield a lot, however, the list is quite tight. I don't think you want to cut too much of the combo. I thought initially it'd be better to run a watered down version of the combo, because it just seemed silly to me to run too many combo cards, but you kind of need this to actually kill people. You don't actually have inevitability. Rokara's hero power is okay, but it doesn't really close out games quick enough. I think Rattlegore is a little too slow in the meta. Unless you happen to be facing on the slow decks, which I don't think is very common right now. Most of the decks kill you pretty quickly, so Rattlegore does not seem like a reasonable win condition. So, I think you do need the combo, and because of that, there's not too much wiggle room, but I did want to include 2 Vipers. There were so many Poison Rogues, despite me thinking the deck is not that good. The deck is still good enough. But it turns out when you play a Viper pretty early against them, they kind of just shrug and leave. So Viper pretty good. You still can die to Garrett stuff, so you need to be careful, but there's enough armor gain in here, and you have pressure. Once you get rid of their weapon, they don't have enough minions. They have the 2 Gnolls. Some decks don't even run the Wild Paw Gnolls. But after you Viper them, they kind of crumple up. You just play a couple minions, and then they start dying, which seems pretty good. Which is why I really wanted 2 Vipers. I tried 1, and then Weapon Rogues kept popping up way too much. I put in a second one, and now it's still kind of unfortunate if you don't hit a Weapon Rogue, but honestly, against some decks, you can just play a 3 mana 3/4 and it's fine. Like you play Scamp on 2, you play a Viper on 3, you play a Weapon on 4, and then you start doing stuff until you combo. So it actually seemed kind of okay. Right. 1 minefield because I wanted 2 vipers. Removal tools. Minefield, you have your blade storms. This helps with double agents, scabs, a big minion like an Edwin. You have your frozen buckler shield shatter wombo combo. You have your shield slams. You have several ways to gain armor. Buckler, heavy plate, your hero power, rancor. Rokara's hero power also can gain you some armor. You got your Barov. There's no brawls. I don't think brawl is quite good enough in this meta. It's useful against some decks that go wide, which is mainly like Beast Druid. But I don't think brawl is good enough, and it's a little too inflexible, which is crazy that brawl is not strong enough as a removal tool at this point. But c'est la vie. I considered running Bulwark / Corsair Cache, but there's already quite a lot of swings in terms of weapons, so I didn't think that Corsair Cache was necessary. And Bulwark felt a little too defensive, which is, you know, haha, you can't play control right now, and that it's kind of true. You actually need your own win condition, which is why we have this combo here. Basically, there's enough removal tools to deal with most of the rogue's threats. You can get blown out by some of the random discovers, but most of the time you can either just armor up out of range, kill their stuff, or just kill them. I've killed people I've killed rogues on turn 8, 9. I've killed Mazaki mages on turn 7 before, which is kind of cool. You can kill people. Again, a lot of swings into just a half combo will get you there a lot of the time. But basically this entire deck is survivability, combo, and then, you know, disruption. Not a lot of disruption. You could consider running a Mutinous, but I don't know what I would really cut. Maybe you can cut a Viper if you think 2 Vipers are overkill. Anyways, deck performed very well for me against Rogue. Yeah, that's all there really is to it. This deck's not particularly spicy against other stuff. It still is an acceptable Hearthstone deck. Like, it has a combo, and it has some removal tools, and it has some card draw. But the main reason I wanted to do this is because it beat up on Rogue pretty nicely. It's not 100% win rate against Rogue, but it's high enough that it makes me feel good when I bash their faces in with a nice little Rokara, a Smite, a Galvangar. Yeah. So I should mention Ike's list initially had some Anchorman, which is kind of an interesting addition. It means you can, for 2 reasons. One, it's more card draw. It's a beefy minion you can play, and you can use it with Smite and To the Front for like another sort of half combo if you don't have Faceless or Galvangar. But I found that against rogues, playing a 5-mana 4/6, even with Rush, was just a little too slow. Even though I did like the card draw of it, it just seemed a little eh. Also, running Harbor Scamps, I really want to pull Sword Eaters because we're running cutting classes, and we only have 1 Outrider's Axe. So we do want to have the Sword Eater because Sword Eater is just a very good card more often. So when I was running 2 Anchorman and Smite and the Sword Eaters, Scamp wasn't pulling Sword Eater that often. So I think cutting this down was okay. You still have the Smite draw, but I do feel like you might want 1 extra charge minion outside of Galvangar for the half combo. Smite with the full combo is 24, 6 times 4, which is still pretty good. 2 weapon swings plus a Smite combo will get you there. And sometimes you can just use Smite for tempo as a removal tool, or Galvangar, and then fall back on the other one, which just seemed kind of nice. Don't be afraid to use Faceless as well. I've had some pretty cool games where I ended up going, I Faceless my opponent's big Edwin with a Mr. Smite and killed him. It was really funny. I had a To the Front in there because obviously 5 + 6 is 11 mana, but with To the Front, Faceless is 3, Smite is 4, so it's 4, 7, 9. And then my Rokara weapon smashed their Edwin into their face, and then I killed them with a Faceless Edwin with the Smite, which is really cool. Anyways, cool deck. If you're facing a lot of rogues, try it out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm out here doing the good work, fighting the good fight, killing the rogues. So Mulligans, what do you want? So Mulligans, you want Harbor Scamp, Harbor Scamp quite good. I've kept Sword Eater solo. Against non-hyper-aggressive classes, you can afford to keep cutting class as well. You have 3 weapons, and 2 of them get tutored. I find the deck kind of runs out of gas if you don't have the card draw cards, so cutting class is pretty good. I've been keeping Viper against almost everything because turns out Rogue can be anything, and then if it happens to not be Rogue, I can trade it away, and it's kind of okay because you don't have too many early game plays anyways, so it's not the end of the world if you keep Viper and then trade it away. So I've been keeping Viper. Scamp a keep, Viper a keep, Sword Eater keep, cutting class can be a keep. I might not keep it solo unless you know exactly what you're facing. Against something like board-centric decks, maybe a Hunter or something, you know, as a Beast Druid, you can consider keeping a Rancor, and you can consider keeping Buckler, Shield Shatter together because that's just your wombo combo already. Other than that, you're literally just looking for those cards that I mentioned. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. There's not much room for flexibility. You don't want to keep the combo pieces. You can keep Minefield as well. Minefield's great as an early game removal, which is why I wanted it too, but ultimately I like oozing weapons more than I like minefielding. Yeah. There you go. Drop a comment, drop a sub, drop a follow. Yeah, here's some cool games. Good luck beating up Rogue. Catch you guys next time. He just beats Control Warrior? Doesn't matter, does it? Pretty bad matchup. I don't know. We faced 3 rogues and now we face every single counter on the ladder. That sounds great. Please just be a fucking rogue. Like, I'm honestly so tilted at this meta. Like, it's diverse as shit, but every deck is cancerous. Like, toxic as shit to play. I shouldn't say cancerous. It's just really fucking frustrating to play against. What's up, Calendar? Well, thankfully it's a rogue. Sure. Can I trick your mid-ranger's Control Warrior? If you redeem it, sure. Could be Ping Mage, yeah, sure. I'm gonna swing face here. They have a Viper, but I'm playing another Sword Eater within 2 turns, I think. That's gonna be fun to deal with later. Could tempo Viper, actually, that's interesting. But I feel like I need card draw, so maybe we do an Anchorman in this deck. I put in 2 Minefields instead, but maybe a bit of extra draw off the Anchorman's better. It's a bit slower. Maybe it's fine, though. I don't know. I'm gonna armor instead of playing the Viper here. It seems okay, but how are you winning the game? You don't actually have like something that kills your opponent. We're not in a meta where you can just armor up and kill stuff. I guess Sour Fang is your win condition. I feel like you don't really have a finisher. I think your deck's a little too slow. Most of what you have is fine, but you kind of need some way to close out the game. Maybe you don't against Rogue. I guess you have Mutinous against the combo decks. That's probably okay. 2 weapons and a Corsair Cache. I don't know about the double provoke, but maybe it's fine if you're running the frenzy cards. Am I playing Ricard next turn? Probably not. Let's armor instead of Viper. Maybe your deck's actually fine. Maybe the mid-range Seraphine gets there. I'm not sure. It's hard to say. I'm actually not sure about a lot in this meta. Why the fuck do I have 20 notifications? Oh, I see.
Trust no one. Not even me.
You can't always trust what you see.
Guess I use a Blade Storm here. Seems fine. Can you redeem or refund Trump, Rebel?
Stone by stone, storm wind shall fall.
Also, check that out, guys. They've already used a Shadow Step. Looks like they're not Shadow Stepping this, though. I could try this deck with the Anchorman. It's just a little bit slower against Rogue, and I feel like the Minefield still helps. Lets you deal with Scabs, the early double agents, sometimes the Knoll. Could run 1/1 maybe? Could I cut something else for I don't mind 5 pirates. Oh, this didn't seem very good. I think I just use a Blade Storm. I miss an armor up here, but I draw a card. I think I value the card. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Is it worth the crap Blade Storm? Don't crap this deck. I threw this together to see if it's actually okay in the meta. I'm not sure if that's the case yet. Cast the game as a spectator? Not today, Trum. I want to just do some climbing. Mirabelle, could you redeem that as well? Sorry, Trum. No? Is Blade Storm rotating? Blade Storm is rotating, don't craft it. Just the two of us, you and I can Shield Shatter.
What now? Blood and thunder.
I don't have to, but I think I will. Oh, they have a Prime in the deck. That's not going to be fun. Yeah, they don't give you... only when it's nerfed. And they don't give you a refund when it rotates either. No, Rancor is Barons, yeah. But Blade Storm was Outland.
Your bow
Interesting. If I recard this into their face, Galvangar will be lethal. Okay.
No force on Azeroth can stop me.
I could just ignore it too and go face. That's probably smarter. Why take an extra 8, kick W? Yeah. This still sets up lethal with Galvangar. And it sets up for a Bear of Rancor instead. It's better. They run a Viper, but like, meh. No, I have Giga Lethal Galvangar. What am I talking about? I have double to the front, so it doesn't matter. Sure. Dun, 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 dun.
Only the cold are fit to rule.
Cutting class Barrow of Ping. I don't have to Rancor. It's fine. Just get to the Galvangar. Bum 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 ba-dum bum bum. Solarian could be a problem. But like, eh. Acid Solarian Pog. That's the bear. Oh god. Just the two of us. Okay, sorry, Maribel, I didn't see. They still have double stab, they still have smite step. But we're relatively healthy. When am I adding Maribel? After the stream.
I have become one with the void.
Sure.
Running low on ingredients.
No, I didn't want to deal with a secret. Sure. It's upsetting. Just gonna test for counterspell in case I draw Galvangar.
I have become one with the void.
Heck. Okay. Seems good to me. Is this Omega lethal? 18 times 2 is 36. They're at 26. So I have lethal through barrier.
To the front line! To the front line! Strike! Then strike harder!
Cool. Vaporize isn't a card. Arcane Overflow can only target enemy minions. Did I see what you posted? The picture in Discord? I did. It looked pretty good. Looked quite good. The day music died. A Mulligan left card. This is Rogue. Let's see if we can win this matchup. Sword Eater for second faceless. It's not good though. Like, the whole point is it's too greedy to run that much burn. You have a 32. That's great. If you add more facelesses, the deck becomes less consistent more often. Why are you coining a passage? It's better to have more consistent early game and then just have enough damage to close out the game. That game we lost because our hand was all combo pieces, and that happens more often if you have another faceless. I don't need to do 60 damage. Like, a Sword Eater would have helped me more that game than another faceless, because a Sword Eater, I already have 2 Vipers. If I had a Sword Eater yet last game, I could have dealt with their early game minions without having to use removal cards. On a crown. Coin passage means you discount wild pawn null, but the chances of you getting null from the passage is like less than 30%, or around 30%, so it's just not worth. You lose a lot of resources for it. Yeah, dealing 60 damage is fun, but I'm trying to win because I'm tired of losing. Wow, that was the only outcome where nothing dies. It's pretty cool. I could have gone Outriders X there, but I'm taking a bit too much damage, so I'm just gonna put a body in the way. Jesus fucking Christ. Jack, be quick. They were Warlock too. They literally could have tapped on 2. Holy shit, dude. My next turn is probably just another weapon, so I might as well swing there. What's the combo for this deck? To the front, Galvangar Faceless, or Galvangar Battlemaster. I'm not gonna trim an armor. They don't have stuff to do, so. No, Jackson is a meme card. It's too. You don't want to spend 2 mana doing that, is the thing. Am I prepping for the game show on Thursday? I might do a bit off stream, but for stream I want to just focus on trying hard. Okay. Music. Die. This looks like scabs. Now imagine if they hadn't used a secret passage for nothing and they actually had refill over the past 2 turns. Hmm. Hmm.
You can't always trust what you see.
Blood and thunder. Blood and thunder.
Might stab. 10, 14. I don't need to frozen buckler here. I can. Wait, did I throw? I did throw. I had 18? No, I couldn't have set up lethal. I have 18 damage right now. Second to the front is lethal, though.
Pirate stuff.
Check. What the hell happened? No honor in the Barons. Keck. Dun 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 bum 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 bum. I'm a little bit off lethal. No god like Hocus Pocus. 12 damage from stabs, plus the weapon is 14. Surprise, I'm running now. 60 ways to arrive. You might as well be walking on the sun. We have lethal now. 18 from Galvangar plus the weapon. You might as well be walking on the sun. Looks like a W this game.